I'm going to go into recording mode. All right, it's the top of the hour, so let's get started. Today is just really hammering home the follow-up, right? And the consistency of that follow-up. There's no one way to do this, guys. There's so many ways to do this, but it's just finding your way and going after it, both on the automation side and the personal follow-up side, and then just being consistent with it. So we're just going to discuss and share examples of success. Like, you know, oftentimes I find a lot of people are looking for immediate success and they get frustrated because they come from a background maybe where it's a little bit different working with lead gen and conversion. And the top of the funnel, obviously Facebook and Instagram, there's some patience that's got to be involved. And we got to step back and maybe check our mindsets a little bit and, you know, kind of help understand, like, this is about creating influence and giving and contribution, and, you know, expecting nothing in return, and setting the tone that way. I think oftentimes we go for the jugular looking for them to say, hey, come list my home, instead of really, you know, thinking about, even when we pick up the phone or send an email, that they're coming from a place of discovery. It's all about how you make them feel. It's the experience you provide, so that the conversation is easy to begin, rather than them thinking, oh, this person is just trying to grab my business, you know? And so let's discuss that. Let's talk about that, because even if you pick up the phone and simply say, hey, you're probably just curious, randomly scrolling down Facebook like most people are. You saw my ad, you were wanting to get your home value. I'm here to actually just work on it. I just have a few quick questions, right? It's that simple. Go back to where they found you and just check that place. Even with the email, even if someone says immediately, assume they're just curious. It's better to do that, because then they'll more likely tell you if they're really selling immediately, and on the opposite side. So make it really easy for them to talk to you, rather than go talk about selling their home. Make it all about them, what they love about their home, their favorite things about that home. And we can have a great discussion on that. All right, Jennifer, if you want to unmute yourself, you've been at it for a long time. You've seen StreetText kind of evolve. You've evolved your own process. Tell us a little bit about, like, your experience through this all and what you've learned along the way.
Yeah. So, well, you already know, but legit the best decision I made for business. But, you know, I think when you first start out in real estate, and for anyone in here that's kind of new to the business, I think the biggest fear is, like, you feel like you have to fit in with what big agents are doing, you know? And I realized a lot of things about myself. Like, number one, you know, I'm going to be the agent that every once in a while might throw in a cuss word. And I just have to, like, know that I'm going to attract certain type of people for that reason. Like, you know, two agents can do things and have the same information, do things the same way, but ultimately personalities just click. So I think what I've learned through StreetText is it's okay not to be stuffy. Like, if you watch my videos, they're not perfect. You know, my hair sometimes is like this, and I leave it because that's just me. And I feel like I've been able to connect with people more. I've also learned that the biggest thing really is not to take anything personally. When someone gets a little snappy, or they're not interested, or they don't answer an email after you put in all this time, that they really don't mean anything by it. Because the more you're persistent, months later, they could say, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to respond to you. And so I think consistency is what I've learned, and just to kind of have my own flavor. People like that, you know?
Love it. And so with that, I mean, what have you found is the easiest way to begin a conversation? What have you found, like, you know, I know it works for everybody. Do you use text message? Do you use SMS? Is it the email? Is it Facebook Messenger? Or is it a combination of all of them? What have you found is the easiest way to begin a conversation?
For me, the phone, not so much, which is interesting. I find like they can't see me, so I feel like they don't like me already. That's my own issue. So for me personally, I think the video followed up immediately with reaching out to them by text or Facebook Messenger. That way I feel like they can see me, they can spy on me, and then I feel like it brings that likability in. So for me, that's been the key, is sending that video, but then following up with them immediately without feeling intrusive and calling them. Like, sometimes I feel like people find that to be an intrusion of their day. Yeah. And, but that's just me. It could work great for other people. It's always been my fear.
I like that. So Because you're giving something of value, you're introducing yourself, right? They get to meet you, experience you, body language, tonality. We always talk about that. And then I think that's a perfect opportunity to follow up. And what are you saying when you do send it? Are you just checking in to see if they have any questions? Are you looking to see if they received it? What type of follow-up to that video?
So I have the examples, so we could do that later or now, but basically, I don't ask questions up front. I wait to see if they provide any details and can adjust it that way. So I leave that conversation for later. I provide it and I basically put, this is my, based on comps, if your house is in good condition. And then my follow-up is once they've opened it, I have, I let the automation do its thing, but then I also go in and I have like a next steps video, which kind of tells them they have a few options. And it's a video with an email. And then I also send by text, hey, I sent your evaluation for 1, 2, 3 ABC straight. What did you think? You know, what are your next steps? And I go from there.
Okay, let's break it down a little bit while we're on the subject. So let's kind of break down your automations as well as your personal follow-up and kind of, you know, I know Rich just had a question. If they don't respond to your first email, what's your next step? Right? So
you know this, Marcus.
What's that?
You know what I do.
Oh, I do, but I'm gonna actually let you take the wheel, and kind of break that down. I don't mind sharing my screen and going into your dashboard and going into the autoresponders, so we can kind of look and break that down because everybody has their own way. I know Wendy was wanting to be here today, but she's actually in a StreetText appointment right now, which, you know,
nice.
Is cool to see. And her way is pretty fun, right? In her way, if anybody ever watches her and the way she's done it, I know that I try to, if you guys all look at one section in the insider group, go to the announcement section. Because what I try to do is find what the most popular posts are, the biggest discussions, and I just drop it all in there so that you have like this filter of what people are talking about right now and their time of strategies. I got your stuff in there, Jennifer. I got Wendy, got Stacy, Sebastian. I got a couple of different examples. But you're all going to see at the same time that they're all using their personal strengths, which is them, right? If you don't have yourself there, it's going to be so hard for you to get any conversation started because you're going to always leave everything to their own interpretation. And their own interpretation on the lead side is like, you're just trying to grab my business. Who are you? I don't know what you're trying to do. I was just curious. I wanted a home value today. Or on the buyer side, I wanted to list a property. It's like, this is no Asian, this is weird, right? So until they experience you, it's always going to be an uphill battle, which is why we talk about the most important integrations. I mean, would you say outside of StreetText, you're looking at Bob Mom as your most important integration?
I think so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's like, and then, I mean, I guess you can use Facebook Messenger as that too, if you can find them, right? Okay, let's get into, I'm going to go into your settings. I'm going to go to all your emails. Should we start there?
Oh, well, you know, actually, my automations really haven't changed. I incorporated emails. I think the manual follow-up that I'm doing as well, I have that pulled up. So
yeah, well, and yeah, you take over. You take the screen over. Go ahead and share. Do I have to give you permission? Let's see. Unless you can, because it give you, yeah, you got it. Perfect.
All right, perfect. So, this thing drives me crazy. All right, so the first thing, somebody asked about would I immediately to see if they're open. Now, you can see the last few emails I've sent. You see I'm getting opens. Gosh, this person opened 22 times, stalker, right?
Yeah.
What is that about? Anyway, they click, they're playing, and so you can see that back here, I have these two that were sent, they didn't open. So you can see that that email is the one that actually opened most recently. Oh, I thought it was. But to answer your question, what I do is I would say on a daily basis, after I'm done with sending out my StreetText leads, I go through here, the tracking feed, and I see who hasn't opened it. If it's been, I would say 18 hours or more, I send it again because my thought is they're not trying to be mean. They just delete, and they overlook. So I will send it again and again and again and again until they finally open it. I might switch the title. right? So it's not saying the same thing over and over again, but I will get them to open it unless it's not a valid email. So you can see the ones that haven't opened, the next day I'm sending it again with just a different kind of, title.
Hey, Jennifer, I have a dumb question.
I love it.
How do you resend it, literally?
Okay.
Like I have it set up through Google. I don't know if a lot of people have that. Like I just have it connected in. Like, are you forwarding it and then trying to erase out the second like forwards email signature, or is there a button that we can just do that in BombBomb to redo it, or are you re-copying and pasting a whole new email?
You know what? I was copying and pasting before, but now that I have templates, what I do is I click on email. It's never this slow unless, of course, a million people are watching the screen. But what I do is whatever their address is, I'll press search, and I'll, in the search bar, I'll put in their address. So like I have one that was Perfect Moment Drive. So if I go in Perfect Moment Drive.
So you're in like the BombBomb dashboard, which I've never ever used. Do people use this? Is this better, worse than Gmail? Because it's like I have this on the side of Gmail. It's like the same thing. I can scroll down and see if people have watched things.
Yeah,
like, you used that before? Do you use this now?
I've always used this because I couldn't figure out the Gmail. It just didn't seem as compatible. I could be completely wrong. So for me, I just find it easy. I always have my BombBomb open. So basically what I do is I enter part of their address, this one, and you go to this little down box right here, and then I press send, and then I re-enter their email. I could just send it again. So if that answers your question, just takes me a few moments, but that's just what I do.
Hey,
yeah.
Really quickly,
yeah.
I'm just curious. I mean, while we're on the subject and you're sharing BombBomb, let me just launch a poll. Who's actually here who uses BombBomb or something like it, Dub, or and here's the poll. Like, go ahead and put it in there. If you're not, you might have some opportunities today to kind of figure out why. Because, and if you're not, I'm actually curious, if you're not using BombBomb, have you got any success? If you are one of those 6 people right now, it looks like 84% so far, 85%. Obviously we push it really hard. Because I'm, 7 of you aren't. And so if there's 7 of you that aren't, maybe you're in trial or something and you just haven't kind of adapted it yet. I haven't seen anybody yet who has had any sort of real tangible, consistent success without it. So, and if you have, please speak up, because we all want to know what you're doing. But yeah, I'll end this poll in a second here, but it's just kind of fun to see. I'm going to end the poll. Oh, we're kind of at 80-20, about an 80-20. I'll share the results here. That's pretty interesting, right? So keep on talking, guys. I want to, or Jennifer, keep on telling us give us an example.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So we're fairly new, but I'm using BombBomb, but I only have like the $30 a month service. Do I need to upgrade to get all of these extras? What are you on, Jennifer? Can you tell me about what?
I remember paying, I believe, $69 a month or so, like right around that $70 mark, but I don't know what the difference is. What capabilities don't you have that are on here?
I think it's branded, when they give you a branded template, maybe that's a little bit different, right?
I don't use your branded template. I just
that's your brand right there, the XP on top.
Oh, I see.
Right, that's brand. And I think you also have a cool call to action. You'll probably share that as well when you do. You got like the buttons down there that people can click on.
Right.
Well. So I don't know if you get anything out of that or you can track it. Yeah, go ahead, Ivan.
The other thing that's missing from the lower end, and probably Jennifer has, is that we can't see the emails. So something like Billy's saying, we would use Gmail or Outlook or something. But if we were to upgrade, then you probably would see the email.
And you can see when somebody's opening it with the upgrade.
No, you can see that anyways.
And
like using Google Chrome, I use Google Chrome. You can see if it's being opened, if it's being like watched, if there's any links being clicked. So that's an extension that I think comes with everything. But in your actual BombBomb, it's different.
Like if they click something, it shows it. She clicked 3 things. So, but yeah, and just to kind of share, and you know, I told Marcus this too. If you guys don't have the scripts, I'll send you everything I have. And you know, I think that's what's great about the group is that, you know, we're all here to share, but why recreate the wheel? I mean, I kind of borrowed from all the guys at StreetText and kind of made it my own. But like, for example, so I let the automation do its thing. But after I come here during the day and I see that they've opened their initial home valuation, my next step is to send them a video called Step Next. Now, I think it was Leon. He made fun of me. He's like, you know, are you dyslexic? And I said, no, but you see, my thing was I wanted it to catch their eye. Like, that doesn't look quite right. So that was my way to do it because I thought they'd be like, what's step next? Does she mean next steps? And I did it on purpose. I don't know why. I have no idea. But this is what I send them. And I do it manually. I have this template and it's just ready to go. As soon as I see they've opened it, this is what I send them. It has my brand. And then next steps, now that you've received your home valuation, I'm not going to play all of it, but here's just basically what it says.
Hi, now that you've received your home valuation, let's talk about next steps. Number 1, I'm happy to come over, do a quick tour of your property. I can show you the comps in your neighborhood, discuss some questions that you have about putting your house on the market. Number 2, if you're not quite ready, but you still want to keep a feel on the market, ask me for a market update. Every month, I'll provide you with a valuation.
So that's basically it. I tell them I could provide them a market update. And for those that don't play it, because a lot don't, I literally say the same thing, and I'm happy to share this with everyone. It gives them 3 choices. So I oftentimes will get a response, hey, I'm just looking, or yeah, you know, let's do something next week. I have a lady that scheduled something with me on Sunday to talk with her and her husband on the phone and do like a walkthrough. That's been the best thing. Like the whole coronavirus has really like let me explore this whole virtual listing thing. So they send me pictures of the HVAC, the water heater, the plumbing. I get all that. And then they tour me through their house. Now I can really come up with a list price. And then what I do is right before I come with my lockbox, I go in the house, make sure there's no material defects, put it on the market. It's easy for them. They don't have to look at me. I'm not sitting in their house, which has made it great. Now, another email that I send that's a template. Oh, that's my beginning email. Marcus, you want me to share that? This is what I sent.
You. So this is this the automated email or tell me, walk me through, because a lot of us have automated emails. What's this one?
So after they submit their whatever, their address and phone number, they get that automated email that basically says, hey, I'm working on it. I'm going to do your valuation. Let me know if there's anything important about your house. This is what they get from me. This is what I send to everyone. I send a picture of their house. Now this is in a template, so it's literally a picture holder. It takes me 5 seconds to upload their house.
Oh, that is so cool.
This is the video I do because sometimes I'm, you know, in my pajamas. I mean, it's, you know, quarantine. Sometimes I'm hanging out in my pajamas, right? So I'm not going to do like a live video, but I'm doing their comps. And so the picture will trigger them to kind of stop and say, that's my house. But this is an automated video I created that I send to people when I can't make a live video. So
Jenifer, the question was, you set this up in StreetText or in BombBomb, right? In BombBomb.
That's correct.
Okay. And they would have got, so let's go back to the beginning though, because they first would have got an automated email from you.
Yes.
Right? So this is the follow-up to that automated email.
Yes. This is when I actually have done their valuation.
Okay. So, okay. Now you're giving us some perspective, and maybe after this you can share with us like the first automated email that goes out, how you come up with the CMA and the home value itself, and kind of an example of what you would send, and this would kind of be the third contact, right?
Right. That's exactly.
So can I ask you a question? I don't understand how this is part of BombBomb. This maybe is part of the upgrade.
Sure. So in BombBomb, and it might be the upgrade, but and I can walk you through it. I did a post, so I'll have to find it. But there's a little hidden area where you can actually create your template. I'd have to play around with it now because it's been a while, but I can't get it. But yes, in BombBomb, there is a way that you could create a new email and create a template. So this is my home valuation template that I send. Right here where it says new email is where you would click, and then it'll give you options of different templates. Everything's slow now, I'm sorry, but I'll share it with you. But yes, it's through BombBomb, and you can create your own templates, and it's one that's called RPR Business. I use that template because it allows clickable links, and I'll show you what I mean. But if you guys want me to play the video, I'll show you what I send to people once I give them their valuation, after I've run the comps.
Okay, yeah, please.
Okay.
Hey, Jenifer Salter with eXp Realty, and I got your request for your home valuation. That's a picture of your house, and I wanted you to see the internet's best guess below. Like Zillow and Redfin or Movado, and what the internet thinks your house is worth. And then I went in and I actually looked at the comps for your neighborhood in the last year. And so I looked at pictures, square footage, what year it was built, and in your radius of your neighborhood to find out a more accurate value for your house. Now, if you're just curious, that's great. Let me know you got this. Let me know you like it. If you are looking to actually sell your house, then I want you to also follow up with me, and let's schedule either a 10-minute virtual tour right from your phone. We'll walk around your house. I'll look at your countertops, your different rooms. You know, I'll have you send me a few pictures of your AC unit, your water heater, and we can get started and go ahead and list your home that way. Or I can come over for a few minutes. I can also give you your comps, let you see the neighborhood values, let you know where I got that list price from. I pay for your professional photos. I also pay for measurements, and check out my reviews below. And I hope to connect with you real soon. Bye.
That is so cool. And that's an automated one. The only thing you do personal in that one is you put their picture in. Outside of that, that's evergreen. That's something you use on every single follow-up. That's the beauty behind that. You guys see how she did that? So that's her kind of dialing that in to create a process that's scalable.
Yeah, good.
Hey, Marcus.
Yeah.
Hey, Jenifer, I have a question. I use BombBomb as well. I pay for the full boat, and I use the call to action links, which I really like. But this custom template that you did, is this, check out my reviews, FB business page. Are those hyperlinks in there that you put in there?
That's correct.
How did you do that?
I did a video on this. I don't remember right this second, but right in it, once you can click on that bubble and push the title, on the left side, there's a screen that says link, hyperlink, or file that you can upload. And I just put the link in there, and I always set it to open in a new window.
Okay.
That seems silly, but I will show you if it's not in there, but I'm certain that I did a video.
Is it an Inside Real Estate? Inside Real Estate, is that where you put the video?
No, StreetText Insider.
Yeah, okay, that's right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Whatever, you know what I mean? StreetText Insider.
Hey, that's
Okay.
amazing. That's so cool. And if you have that video, or we'll pin it to the announcement section.
Okay.
And another thing I can do is I can invite Shane, who's works at BombBomb, to do a best practices webinar, if you guys would be interested in that, to kind of really frame in what Jenifer is doing.
That's a great idea, Marcus.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, I'll make that happen.
Or
This
if we could just pay someone to do that for us.
Let's see what I can do. All right.
So anyway, so underneath I have my links, right, to different websites. And here's the script, which I'm going to give to everyone. I already shared it with Marcus. We can pin them. I use this template. So when I do their valuation, the only thing I'm pulling is the Zillow valuation, Redfin or Realtor, whichever's the lowest, right? I put that in, and then I actually run the comps in my MLS. I spend no more than 5 minutes, guys, because if I'm wrong, and we'll kind of hone it in. But I'll look at
They'll let you know. It's all good.
That's right. And so I try to do a really small range within like 3,000. And so basically I give them choices of how to respond to the email. Underneath I have my picture, I have, you know, my signature. They can connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, YouTube. And then I put some picture, whatever it is. So that's when I have their valuation. Then I do the next step videos, which I just shared with you guys. Once I see they've opened it, I just send that out. I do it manually. I do it, you know, after dinner time every night. I'll just look and then I'll send. And if someone hasn't opened, I'll resend the original video. Now, when I'm a little bit slower, which it's been crazy lately, but what I try to do is every 4 weeks or so, I wake up in the morning and I'll start at the very back of my StreetText from way back in the beginning, a year ago. And I'll go to the oldest, I'll look at my notes, I'll see if we've talked. And what I do is I send them this. This is an updated valuation. I get tons of responses from this. And people are like, yeah, send me the updated valuation. So that way I don't forget about people who, you know, are a year out, because the automations I think go for 9 months. So what I do is for anyone that's a month or older, like if they sent me a request a month ago and I haven't heard crap from them, I send them this. And this is called the updated valuation. And this is all it is.
Hi, Jenifer Salter with eXp Realty. We connected a while back. I did a valuation for your home. Now it's been either, you know, a month or more, or I just wanted to connect because I haven't heard back. So just so you know, even during this coronavirus, the market is still moving forward. Things have changed slightly. But what's great is series buyers are still buying. My last listing sold sight unseen within 24 hours for over asking price. So no fear there. I'd like to do another valuation of your home. I would then, if you are interested in selling or your situation has changed and you have to sell now, I would like to talk to you about doing a all you need your smartphone. We will go around your house and I can give you an exact listing price for your property.
Anyway, you guys get the point. And so the video just says the same thing that I say in the video. We connected before. Do you want an updated valuation? And a lot of times they'll say yes, and then, you know, I'll provide it. So
I love it. I love it. That's so cool. Wow. Okay, there's a lot there.
Are you going to share that letter of the home evaluation after, I guess, the letter that you have incorporated? Can you share that on StreetText?
I'm going to send it right now because I did actually send it to Marcus in Messenger. So let me just copy that real quick while we're here, and I'll put it in the chat box. But I basically have everything because I also connect with folks on Facebook Messenger. So I'll get that and I'll go ahead and put it in the chat. And I save this in my notes section on my computer, and I'm constantly using it and just changing the address or their name or whatever. So yeah, I'll pull that up and post it in there.
And while you're pulling that up, Steve Skeet's got to run, but he just wanted to let us know that he's got a couple listings from StreetText this week. Steve, unmute yourself.
Here's Steve.
Steve, Skeet. Unmute yourself, buddy. There you go.
I'm on my tablet, so it's a little different than my computer. I was trying to figure out how to unmute myself. Yeah, so I've been really busy, you know, besides StreetText, just working like 70 hours a week. So I had actually not been following up with my StreetText leads for a couple weeks. Well, that automated email that goes out that says, it's in one of the campaign. It's like, I hope you received your valuation and liked it. You know what I'm talking about?
That's day 3.
Yeah, so that went out and people started messaging back like, hey, I didn't get it. So I went back and, oh, sorry, it must be a system glitch, you know, and then I went into those that responded and did it real quick. Well, I responded to 5. I got 3 appointments from it, set 2 listings in 2 days.
Bam.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's my favorite email now. I'm just not going to send it until that email goes out now.
See who's paying attention?
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, it might have been a glitch. I'm sorry. That's a good.
Yep.
Thanks, Steve.
That's all I wanted to share.
Appreciate it. And that's with Steve probably not having anything in there. That's just letting it go, right? No video, no nothing, Steve. Yeah. See, I mean, sometimes these things just spark up conversation, and then it's up to you to follow up with them. Don't worry, yeah, Jennifer, don't worry about it pasting in there. We'll just get it all into the insider group after, and I'll put it in the announcement section so everybody can grab it.
Okay.
So, okay, well I mean, there's some amazing examples there. So what about the first automated email? What's your open rates like? And how do you go about, like, essentially someone puts it in their address and email, auto fires out you. Are you getting any success with that particular one in terms of replies, or is it more along the lines of your personal follow-up or the combination thereof?
See, this is where I'm bad. Like, Wendy has it down to a science, like with what she's done. I don't know. Like, I actually don't even remember what my first automated email is. I know I did it, but I don't know. What I get a response to is when Julie texts them or emails and says, is there anything I should know about your house? And so some people will say, no, there's been no updates, or we just put in new floors. But I don't know if that's the email or the text. Like, I'm bad that way.
Well, I do. I'll show you.
I'm gonna tell you, and when you guys are ready, I just want to tell you a couple stories.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, no, tell us now. We can interrupt this. We can interrupt.
There have been, I turned on the What's Your Homework ad, and I did a number of different, split tests and images, and I've been getting inundated with a bunch of different leads. I go through them, I pick through them, cherry pick a little bit. But I gotta tell you, so far, I've gotten, I think, 6 phone numbers, reached out to every one of them. And what I'm finding is, and I've been doing sales for like 15 years, I do my best to reach out within 3 to 5 minutes. And I immediately introduce myself, but I also mention as quickly as possible, hey, I understand you just submitted your information through Facebook for a home valuation for such and such an address. And a lot of them will be like, oh yeah, I just did that. Do you have a few minutes to talk? I talked to a lady for about 30 minutes on the 4th of July, told me all about our house. And she even mentioned to me, this is really interesting, she's like, I've been using another real estate group for a number of years to help me buy and sell my last 3 homes. I ignored that, and I just listened to her story about her house. And I said, well, let me ask you. You had mentioned that you've been using so-and-so. Could I have the opportunity to meet with you and help me understand why you reached out to me? And she went into a diatribe about how they never responded to her. I was like, okay, the fortune's in the follow-up. Make sure I do that, which I haven't been doing a great job. But I just got an email this morning from my initial autoresponder, and I got the idea for some of the questions in that autoresponder from this group, which is, tell me a little bit about your house. What are some updates you've done? What do you love most about your home? And the guy phone number responded to that. I called him back. I said, hey, I've got all this information. You'll have details later. I do it a little differently than Jennifer does. I like to personalize each one of those not the autoresponder, but the second step. And I use their name. I go through the screen share where I talk about Zillow, Redfin, the MLS. I even show them a page from our PR to say, here's what I'm thinking right now based on, I don't know what your condition is to your home, what you've done update wise. I'd love to get on a phone with you, do a video call, or I can stop by, whatever it is. But I just like to personalize a little bit more. And then I had one person respond to Julie saying, hey, I already talked to Joe, we're good. Some people say to Julie, who is this? Though they have no idea. And I had one dude said, and I don't get this. She asked him a question and he goes, nah, I'm straight, pimp. I knew what that meant. But okay. So anyway, I guess what I'm saying is do it consistently. And I'm telling myself this more than anybody is be consistent about it. And I also follow up with letters that I've learned through this group. A little short paragraph goes out to everybody because people like to have things in their hands. I send, it's a template with my picture on it, a business card. And if they really want to sell or they indicate in there, hey, I'm looking to sell, they get a whole packet from me on a pre-listing guide, an RPR, a guide from my title company that's customized. Because first, got to be first there with everything. That makes sense? I mean, and like I said, I'm telling myself this because I've been a little lazy, and I'm like, okay, let's use the tools that I bought. And Jenifer's been a big help.
Oh, internet cut out for a second.
It's a great group. I appreciate it so much.
Thanks, Joe. That's amazing. There you go. So anybody have questions for Joe as you kind of were breaking this down? I know what is the RPR, Realtor, and then Susan clicked on it. Anybody have questions for Joe or for Jenifer? I know there's a lot that we're pulling out here. Go ahead and unmute yourself and ask questions because this is a perfect time.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can we, I wanted to get into a conversation, and I know Jenifer and I know like Wendy and other people. So, and I don't know if anybody's covered this topic, but I kind of wanted to get a sense of, like, I know how much I can throttle Facebook a day, and if I spend more money, I can get more leads. But could you, and I love hearing like, oh, I'm new to StreetText. I just got 3 listings yesterday. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I didn't do that. But can we generally talk about, what are you seeing? Like, we all know this isn't like, a magic pill or anything, but like we should be getting at least 1 good connection a week. Should you be getting 1 good connection every 2 weeks? Have you stepped it up since the initial like $9 a day? I don't think anybody's broken down like a gauge of like expectations, but those expectations should be coupled with the fact that like we're doing everything we're supposed to,
Yeah.
Hey, Billy, before we answer, like, does whoever answer get some of that toilet paper stash that you got behind you?
I did a Facebook Live with my broker the other day, and everybody was making comments about it. I just thought it was hilarious personally. I'm at my parents' townhouse because I'm not working in the office, and people were cracking up. So I just leave it there. I think it's
Do
funny.
your videos with that in the background. People are going to open it and be like,
comment below for some of these. Yeah. But does that make sense what I'm asking? Because I think a lot of people, like, we get it. We can do bomb. These are real people that we have to like talk to and send letters to. And God forbid we knock on their door because we know where they live. But I was just wondering if people like, what are people seeing? Like, is it like 1 good one a week, one a month? Like what are expectations? Who knows? Like different markets are insane.
I think it depends. I'm just going to answer that. I throttled up and I still have I'm spending probably $30 or $40 a day right now. And I'm going to do that temporarily because I want to generate a boatload of leads within a short period of time. That's my strategy right now. And like I mentioned, I've gotten a number of folks saying, yeah, just curious. Fine, you're still going to get a letter. You're still going to get something. But I've received some others where it's like, I want to sell in 3 months. Here's what I think my home is worth, and here are the details about it. And the guy this morning told me all about his house. It's probably worth up about 500 grand. So I think it just depends on your market and your spend. I mean, I could do $9 a day, but
and your ad on the cost of your clicks, like I think that's as good.
I have to look, like, to be honest with you, I just put it aside. I was like, I'm just going to spend this money because they're working right now. And I haven't looked at my ad spend for each ad. I should probably do that today, but I haven't because, ding, 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 I get clicks all the time. So it's probably a little more loose way to do it. But at the end of the day, once I look at it, I'm going to say, okay, it's time to throttle back 1 or turn 1 off or turn 2 off or whatever it is. And then focus on the follow-up. Because at the end of the day, 20 leads a day or whatever it is a lot for one guy to handle.
Yes. I feel the same way. And when, like, did you last week, I think it was with Wendy, she has like a huge team. She's spending like, tens of thousands of dollars on Facebook. Like, I get that, but I'm not a huge team leader, So I think a majority of street texters are like, we're going to spend $20 a day, maybe even less than that. I don't know. So.
Hey, Billy, it's funny that you said that because when I first started with StreetText, like I quit teaching full time to go into real estate. And so I was just beginning and I was thinking, I got $150 a month to spend on my ads. That's it. And so I was like, ooh, StreetText has a free trial. I'm going to use them. Well, I had major leads and I got 3 appointments on my free trial. So it really to that next whole step. But what I've learned is like, you guys, a lot of you spend big money. Like I'm not there yet either. It's just me. I don't have a team. So for me, I'll spend between $9 and $20 a day. I have never spent more than that.
That's right. That's right where we're at. And I
Yeah.
turned an ad back on today that like Facebook, because we got hacked like a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and it's been like 6 came in, you know, and
Mhm.
so it's like, all right, I can keep the clicks at about $1. So every day there's like more and more coming in. I just think it's nice if everybody can just hear that, look, man, every lead coming in with a phone number doesn't mean they want to sell today. There was a phone number that came in today. I called her and I was like, hey, you know, just following up. She was really nice. She's like, oh no, I'm literally listing my house with such and such like tomorrow. I was just curious. And as much as I want to punch someone in the face through the phone, like we have to understand that's the reality of real estate, right? Like that's it. Like move on, get to the next. I just want to hear more stories like that, because as much as I appreciate the, oh, Stephen Dreyer's killing it and doing everything, it's like, I need to know that like, I'm not necessarily a rock star, but I want to hear that other people are, you know, StreetText is great for getting the initial leads, but they're just like all the other leads. They're real people in real situations, and God knows what their house looks like or how far down the road they need to be. But I have gotten a bunch of 1 to 3 month out and 6 months out, you know?
Yeah.
So
I
that's what
think
everybody else is seeing.
I'm exactly where you're at, Billy. I've kept in touch with a number of folks. You know, they said they've appreciated the follow-up. They're looking at fall. I did go on one appointment face-to-face. She's like, I'm not ready yet. And her house wasn't ready yet. And that's why I'm keeping in touch with her via, you know, text, email. I just sent her a packet in the mail. And I don't have a listing agreement from StreetText yet. To me, it's a longer term play because these are top of funnel folks that are just curious or playing around. But then there are some that are serious. So to me, the ones that are immediate, it's more like icing on the cake or the cherry on the top, however you want to put it. But it's a longer term play, and it's just one component of lead generation funnel.
I have a question. Just doubling down really quickly on what Billy was saying, you know, those are really difficult at times. Obviously, you get somebody who is that close to potentially listing with you, or at least, you know, you had an opportunity at it. It's painful because that listing is now obviously with somebody else, but it shows that your algorithm is working the right way and your ad is being delivered to people who are in market, who are the kind of people you're looking for. So as painful as those can be, it is nice to know that your ad is being delivered to the right people. And then Christina, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So why don't you go ahead?
No worries. Yeah, I had a question for Joe. What area are you at, Joe? Like what city? Phoenix? Okay. Have you been able to differentiate like the leads? Are they more rural or city? Because I'm just kind of wondering, based on the amount of dollars spent for the leads, what type of ad you have, if it matters, you know, what kind of leads you're generating, more in rural areas or city areas, because that can probably vary too.
It's mostly urban and suburbia. No real, you know, like horse property or anything like that. I did get one, but for the most part, it's like West Valley, Phoenix, East Valley, Phoenix. Every once in a while, I'll get something sort of Central Phoenix-ish or Scottsdale.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I'm using, there's a Skyline one I think I'm using, and also a really cool contemporary home I've got on a mountain. And it seems to be working well.
Okay.
It's the enter your address, receive your home value, that new one we're kind of discussing and talking about, right? Don't get lost in the fact that you guys are all like, everybody starts with the map, and the map is great and it continues to be great, but take a leap into something more unique, customized to your local market. And that's what you're kind of seeing great results with lately.
Yeah.
So Jennifer, how do you get the picture of the house?
Usually it's really easy. There's a few that are more difficult, but Zillow or Redfin or MLS. And if it's not in any of those places because it's a rural area, I actually am able to find it on the tax records because they update those photos. So I try to find something. And if not, then I'll just make a video of their house and I'll have to make a video for that one.
Wouldn't Google and Bing and stuff pull that up too? Get Google Satellite via, right? If you just type in the address.
You. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you can walk in front of it. Yeah.
I have a question. This is Adrian. It's for anyone that wants to answer. I'm a newbie. And so what do you suggest to use to manage your lead generation?
I use, you mean like a CRM?
Do you use just the CRM and just tag them differently depending on where they're at in the selling process?
Yeah, I mean, at least for me, I have my CRM, which is Follow Up Boss, integrated with StreetText. The StreetText leads get pulled directly into Follow Up Boss. I get notification and Boss emails there and a number of other functions. And I chose Follow Up Boss because it integrates with a number of different tools out there between StreetText, BombBomb, Gmail, you name it. And it's one centralized area that contains everything, and mobile.
Hey, Adrian, and I do it a little bit different. I actually use StreetText as a CRM for all my sellers. I don't put them anywhere else. The only time I take them to my CRM, which is KV Core, is if they're a buyer. Because I've done buyer ads with StreetText. I know we don't talk about it a lot, but those have been like major successful for me as well as their buyer ads.
Okay, I currently use my ActivePipe, which is the firm's CRM. I was just curious, and it's great to know that you handle it separately. So if you have a lead generating side for sellers, then it behooves you maybe to keep them separate. Thank you.
Jennifer, I'm picking your brain about your buyer ads. Get ready.
Hey, Jennifer.
Okay.
Jennifer, I had a quick question for you. It looked like in your autoresponder reaching out a year or so later, it was through BombBomb. Out of curiosity, because I believe in StreetText, you could set up your sales funnel for your email marketing, that we could add and make that our autoresponder to go out a year, year and a half. Why did you decide to use your email automation through BombBomb instead of continuing through StreetText and just adding the additional drips for another 6-9 months or so?
This is why I need people like you, Joel, because see, I'm kind of scattered. It's not how my brain works. It would probably be easier, but when do I do anything the easy way? I don't know. So now that you mentioned it, it sounds like a fantastic idea.
Yeah, that's amazing. Most people don't realize they can add in emails, add in text messages. And I think we need to do some more training on that, because everybody gets stuck in the box of this 9-month-long drip campaign, even the SMSs that go in out. But
I wish there was like a boot camp for all that. Like,
yeah,
you're on it, brother.
You can kind of set it.
We'll make Logan create it.
So maybe like an online convention. Something we've been tossing up for a little bit here.
Yeah, sounds like for this hour, we're going to go in and actually do all this stuff that we hear on the masterminds. That's great, but Billy's way too lazy to actually do these things the other 7 days of the week.
We'll get you sorted out, Billy.
Hey, Billy, out of curiosity, did you go through the video tutorial? Because I'm driving through that in Coursera, I think, or Teachables. And I've already implemented a BombBomb video and all this stuff. I don't know if you've gone through that video, but it's pretty good.
Yes, I did. So my broker bought all this for me, and she knew that I'm not a learning-based agent. And because of COVID, it like slapped me in the face, like that I need to do things differently. So I went through it, but I only got to a point where I don't want to just watch this video and move on. I actually want to do this. And then I started having success. And then I forget to like go back where I pick up where I left off and like continue doing all the things like you're talking about. So yeah, I have BombBomb. I do the intro videos. I get a ton of the who's this text. I'm sure everybody gets that, right? The automatic like response emails and stuff. And it's been fantastic. Yesterday, I got under contract on my first StreetText listing, which is equivalent to like a couple cases of Bud Light, but a win is a win. So, so I'll take that. And like we have to remember that leads and listings, you should appropriately get at least one referral out of every person you work with ever. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, I went through those videos and they're so freaking helpful. And Marcus sits there and just tells me to do things, and you just need to do it, man. It's so helpful and insightful. And people like Jennifer, I've already I already forgot how she said to resend the emails. So I'm literally in BombBomb, like while I'm listening, feeling embarrassed to ask her again how to do that. Cause I don't think I pay enough a month to have that capability to resend the emails or whatever. So.
Is that a hint, Billy? No, what you do is once you click on the tab that says email, you find the email and you can search for it by address, like in that little search bar, just put part of the address name. And then there's a drop down arrow and you click it and press send.
Right there. I don't have the drop down arrows. So maybe I don't have the.
I think that's worth it because that's where you get all your follow-up from looking at them.
Yeah, now I'm realizing, well, since day one, I've sent out emails that may not have been open. So now I'm worried that I'm missing out on opportunity again, which I guess is good in a mastermind.
Yeah, now you can do it because I'm kind of, I always tease Marcus. I always use the word stalker, but I'm a stalker. Like I'll find if they haven't opened it. Yeah, if they haven't opened it, they're going to open it.
Amen.
Or you get frustrated when that Facebook name, you're like, oh, there's no way 2 people have this name. And you're like, son of a. There's like 7 people, and you're like, gosh dang it.
Well, I have a question. Does Gmail still show opens no matter if you have the advanced version of BombBomb? Does anybody know that?
Yeah, yes. Yes,
and it shows videos watched. Yeah.
Yeah. I I went all in the BombBomb package. I don't want to say the most expensive one, but I was just like, look, I'm going to commit. I'm going to do the year, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. I got a template made, and there's a bunch of other stuff that actually I haven't used, which is a lot of automated social media posting information because it's just generic. But you might want to look into like maybe a step above, just out of curiosity for you.
Jenifer, so you're not using HomeBot, correct?
No, Joe and I talked about this. I know a lot of people that love the HomeBot. But you see, for me, it's not my personality. I feel like it looks too computerized, and I feel like it defeats that whole personal touch. I want them to know that I'm making the valuation, but a lot of people love it and have success. It's not my thing.
Yeah, I think it's how you actually help communicate the HomeBot, right? So if you're going to use the HomeBot, make sure to use the screen recording and don't just overwhelm them with this whole HomeBot. Focus on the one thing you're trying to talk about, which is tuning their value. I think that would be the key on that, but personalize it to that person. And then what about, so you're saying you're a little bit of a stalker like myself. Are you, you're trying to find them on Facebook, and are you using Facebook friends lists as well?
I am, Marcus. Yeah, I have some people in like a million different lists, but yes, I use the list now, and I love it. It's been really, really helpful.
And I tell people it's not so much even because we all know we're trying to get them to meet us. It's for you to kind of see them as a real person, right? And it focuses like, give me an example of some of the lists that you have and how you dissect those lists, like, and cross them over. Do you have an example, or could you share your screen to show us a couple of your lists?
Are you talking about me?
I'm talking about you, Jenifer. So for anybody that's kind of thinking about what that means, it's basically you profile somebody if you can find them. You do the advanced search, you friend request them, you drop them into that list, and you follow up with a Facebook message. And then when you're doing your emails and your automations, you're pointing back to that connection on Facebook as well. So it keeps, because once you get Facebook Messenger, I think it's like the end all be all communication, because you have everything in one place. You can track to see if they've seen things. You can send
video call, everything.
Video call, audio, PDFs, everything, right? And it's just, for me, it's my way of tracking what's the last conversation I've had with you guys. And so here you go. Here's what Jenifer has done. And yeah,
Jenifer, you said you were doing walkthrough videos with like clients. Were you using Facebook Messenger for that?
You gotta unmute yourself there, Jenifer. Yeah, she's there. She goes.
Billy, what did you say? I'm so sorry. I was too focused on, do I have a list that says like people I don't like? So I'm like scrolling just to make sure everything's good. But okay, I'm concentrated now. Everything looks fine.
Friends list. So you said you were doing like video walkthroughs with like clients. Like, are you doing that just FaceTiming them, or are you actually like in Facebook on them so you knew who that was and could be connected through it?
No, I do it on either Zoom or FaceTime, just on the phone. It's been great. That's like a game changer. I'm going to do that even when the pandemic's done, because people, they have no attention span like myself, right? They get focused. They're busy with work. They've got dogs. it's such a pain for them to have you over. So I just try to eliminate that, you know? I mean, we have responsibility to make sure there's no material defects. So I make sure that I get in the house before we go live, but everything can be done without that. So here's some of the lists I have, like attorney, famous people. I don't know what that is, but lenders, past clients, prospects. Like my past clients, this is how I can keep in touch. We could be friends and I could say, you know, happy 4th. You know, I've been thinking about you guys. And I have StreetText realtors. So a lot of you are in that group, my meetup group, close friends. And I kind of work that way.
When do you sleep?
Huh?
When do you sleep?
I mean, I don't know. I woke up today at 9. Like listen, I don't do this. And, you know, I definitely take my break, but I put in about 12 to 14 hours a day where I don't move and I'm doing this, you know, so there has to be a balance. I haven't quite found it, but I'm like obsessed. Like I love it. So, I mean, ask Marcus. I mean, between his coaching and StreetText, and I don't know when they sleep either, but.
I don't. Kids. Ira's the same way. This is awesome. Any questions before we wrap it up here? There's been so much gold in this mastermind, and I think anything we can put it all. I know you sent me some things, Jennifer, but we can put it all in the insider group. And what I'll do is I'll pin the posts in the announcement section. So again, whenever we find gold, I'll put it all in the announcement section. And then you also have the file section that you could always upload stuff to at any time you want to, Jennifer, or anybody for that matter. Because this is phenomenal. Yeah, a little.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So when you do the emails through BombBomb, do we turn off the automation in StreetText?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
They complement one another.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Hi, Marcus.
Hey, Wendy.
Wendy.
Just got done signing a StreetText client.
Oh, hey, good job. Hey, Wendy.
How much do you pay Wendy to just hop on and say things like that?
I don't have.
No, not even kidding. Now I'm going to go take a picture of their pool so I can sell their house.
Oh,
they
see,
bought
in the back of your car,
first.
Wendy. What's all that crap in the back of your vehicle? What is all that?
Staging. It's normally more organized, but I was in a hurry when I threw everything back into it. So I have candles fucking melted everywhere. Oh, sorry. No pussy. Yeah, but it smells really good in here. Anyway,
hey,
so
Jennifer, hey, Wendy, I'll be there as soon as I possibly can to come check out the Raiders. Okay.
Yes.
So you know.
Yay. Awesome. Let me know.
First StreetText convention.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right.
Let's do a convention. I love it. Awesome. So, Wendy, before we let you go, do you have any advice for anybody that's kind of trying to put that all together? What would you say if there's one tangible thing you would give as far as advice is concerned to somebody who's trying to figure out how to get a conversation started with a lead?
Right. So so definitely buy into BombBomb. You know, pay the $50 a month. It is worth it. Video is everything, and you know, you want that connection with people, and you can't get that through a text or an email. You can get it through video. So that's the main thing, I think, is why we're getting so much good response, is because they're seeing you, you're inviting them to Facebook, and then they're like, oh, look, this girl drives a Jeep on rocks, you know, and so they get to know you. And then when they're ready, they do reach out. So I have several people saying, I'm not ready now, but you're my girl. So, or I'm going to refer you to, you know, everybody I know because you seem awesome. And so, and they wouldn't know that if you just emailed them their stats on their, you know, CMA. Like, that's boring. So definitely use the video. It's going to definitely take your business to the next level.
And Wendy, you're just like Jennifer, you also use Facebook as a CRM somewhat, and you're always trying to get the relationship back on Facebook, correct?
Yes. So I have several lists too. Never thought of a I hate this person list. That's so funny. I should do that.
Yes, I was just sure.
But I do have, I put my StreetText people in my seller list, and then if they decide to buy, then they're in the buyer seller list. I don't necessarily have a StreetText list because I have, you know, stuff coming from everywhere. So if they're sellers, I want them in there because when I post pertinent information to how the market's doing for sellers, I want everybody to see it. I don't have to go find them in all these different lists. So anyway, but yeah, I definitely use that. And if you're a little overwhelmed about putting people on a list, do the Marcus strategy, go on every day, check the birthday list, tell everybody happy birthday. And I even use that link that you were telling me about. It's awesome. And anyway, and then put them in a list then. And then you'll have, in a year, everybody will be in a list. I can't wait for November because then I don't have to do it anymore. Only when they come back in.
Love it.
So, yeah.
You guys, this has been so awesome. So there's so much that we pulled today. So just post anything that you took away from this mastermind and the insider group, anything that you want more clarity on, questions you have, post in the insider group. We'll share everything that we possibly can in there. And then just, you know, reach out to your coach if you need some more clarity. Any other last minute questions or comments?
I just want to answer Ivan. He had made a mention, is Facebook only for real estate or is it mixed with personal? It was more personal before, but yes, I think that people like to see you with family. Just like, I think that's what brought me to StreetText. Marcus's family was really cute. And I thought, well, he seems normal. So Ivan, it's a mix. I just don't post anything political or that will cause me trouble. Nothing about religion, presidents, Corona, nothing. But
you send links to both your personal and professional page on Facebook, or just personal?
I send I friend them on my personal page because you can't friend on your business page. But I send a link, like for the birthdays, that's what Wendy was talking about. Like I'll say happy birthday, and then it'll say facebook.com and my business page because it populates a picture. And all they have to do is click like, and now they've liked my business page too.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of likes since I started doing that. So yeah, definitely helped.
I don't understand that. What do you mean by it sends
Oh,
a...
Jennifer, do it and show her.
Please.
Do it, Jennifer.
Do it, girl, do it.
So when, I'll have to show you, but when it's someone's birthday, you can't just do it. You know, it says right on their timeline, it has all of the birthdays. Don't go there. Actually go to their face and then make a say happy birthday, hope it's a great year, emoji, 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 and then you put a link to your business page, because what it does there, if you do it that way, it populates what your message is, but then it populates a banner for your business page, and it'll say like page. All they have to do, so instead of liking the post, they like your business page, and now they're on your business page. So I do that every day for birthdays. I say every day, but really when I remember. So once a week, when it's birthdays, I'll say on Thursday, hey, happy birthday, and you know.
Okay, awesome.
I sometimes miss, so I have a happy birthday emoji, 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 and a link, and then I have a happy birthday yesterday with a crazy face, and then I have a happy birthday tomorrow, because sometimes I can't do it every day, and if I know I'm going to be super busy the next day, I'm like, I'll just get this done, and then you could do 3
So I think
days right in one, because it says it right there on their list. Just say happy birthday with emoji. Hello?
we're cutting out there. I think I'm gonna see if I can show you guys what she's talking about here for the birthdays. Here's where she's showing you the birthdays. So if you go to birthdays on your friends list, so if you go to all your friends, like go to your profile. So start with go to home, go to your profile, go to friends, and then go to birthdays. And now you got birthdays that are today, and you got birthdays that are coming up, and so forth. So friends with upcoming birthdays, they're all right there, and you can go and write on the timeline. So that's the perfect place to do it with your link. See what I showed you guys there? So again, your profile, friends, and then there's all the different categories. You go to birthdays.
And then you just go like click right on timeline.
Yeah, you go right on timeline.
And you're posting it from your business page as your.
No, you're just taking a link from your business page.
Oh,
and
Copy and paste the link?
Yeah, and it's copy paste. Happy birthday emoji, emoji, emoji with that link, and you're doing that for everybody on their timeline.
Okay.
Cool. And it's just a link to your Facebook business page.
That's right. That's simple. Hey, remember, we work smarter, not harder.
Yes. I got to tell you, these are a real nice shot in the arm, especially when you're working out of the house all the time. Alone with a dog and a cat. They don't talk much.
Awesome. All right, guys, we'll let you go. Amazing mastermind today. Jenifer, thank you so much. Wendy, thanks for showing up. Everybody, have an awesome day. Until next week, we'll see you soon.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Jennifer.
Bye. Thanks.